Welcome back to Retail Therapy. My name's Will DeFries. Barrett Dudley, how we doing today?
We're doing all right, you know. It's hot today, but we potentially have our first little dalliance with some sweater weather coming up this weekend. Nice little high of 70. Happen to have a dinner res on the very same day where we're having our coldest day of the year so far, our coldest day of the season so far. And this is truly what I live for. And so that makes it a good weekend for retail therapy.
Will you be dining al fresco?
No, I don't think al fresco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know if you were really like getting out there.
That's I don't know, but maybe earlier in the day, Saturday, maybe find a little outdoor scenario. And the weather turn really couldn't come at a better time because for the better part of a week, I've been living differently. And let me tell you why. I've never been more just really, really rifling through and being very particular about my sock drawer. I don't know if you have felt this, but life is different on this side of the major Emrata news from last week. I mean, it's living in my brain.
I have been doing a lot of cleaning lately. We've been doing a lot of just general nesting with anticipation for our second child. And through doing this, one of the most enjoyable processes I've done has been going through our closet. And going through our closet, it's a big undertaking because we both have a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
And we've done it enough over the last couple of years that now I feel like I really have a very tailored wardrobe that I will wear most of, or I have a scenario where I will pull something out. The one thing that I've been avoiding this entire time has been my sock drawer. And now that Emrata has completely changed everything we know about socks.
Yeah.
Like, the next time I go in there, it's going to be a bloodbath. There are some like Nike dry fit socks from like way back in the day that are just going to get like tossed. I've got some no-show socks that are going to rise to the top of the thing. Like,
when you better be busting out these no-shows, trying them on with any loafer or low-cut sneaker that you might think of now, because God forbid you step out with a sliver. You know, you cannot be stepping out with a sliver.
I, for the first time, have been investing in socks. This is not something I normally do. I'm very basic about my socks, and that has been a big empty space in my wardrobe for a long time. But I've recently purchased a pair of tie-dyed socks from Stag on South Congress. I've gotten some Ame Leon Dore socks from their most recent drop. A little late there, Randy, but good work nonetheless. And so I actually feel like I do have a somewhat of a daily rotation that I can put into the works, but I'm more scared to show my ankles than I've ever been.
You better be. Randy was late on that bell because he's over there shopping for socks. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, he's trying to cover those ankles.
Can I tell you a story?
You can.
We were both at an event.
We were
this past weekend, and pretty late on in the event, I was at the bar getting what was to be my final drink of the night. And a couple of older later middle-aged gentlemen are sitting there at the bar. And I come over and I'm standing next to one of them, and they're having a very, a heated discussion. Mm-hmm. Not heated, but a lively discussion.
Uh-huh.
And one of the guys, the one closest to me, he reaches over and he grabs me on the shoulder, and he says, "Hey, are you wearing socks?" And I could not believe this. I was like, "This is, oh my God!" Like, he must know this 65-year-old man. He must have heard the Emrata news.
I mean, he probably did.
And
maybe he listens to our podcast.
And I lifted up my pant leg, and I was wearing loafers, and it was a pretty warm night.
Mm-hmm.
And these are shoes that I typically go sockless in.
Yeah.
But you bet your ass I had socks on that night.
Fuck.
And so I said, "Yeah, I got socks on." And they had made a bet that I would not have socks on. Because his daughter, who was also in attendance at this party, had told him that he should not wear socks.
Okay.
Because all the boys out there are not wearing socks with their dress slacks and their trousers.
Did you explain the predicament?
So of course I went into this. I said,
changing lives.
I said, "Well, sir, I'm not sure if you've heard, yet, but Emily Ratajkowski of podcast modeling and online fame,
author as well,
and author fame, has declared that no man shall henceforth show ankle lest they stand any chance with her and her ilk."
Mm-hmm.
And so I was educating out there, but suffice it to say, there are still women down here in the great state of Texas that are encouraging the men in their lives, including their fathers, to continue to go sockless. So it's you're rolling the dice out there no matter what you do.
Yeah, yeah. We are getting to a point where I think that I'm just gonna start covering the ankles for good now. Like, I'm playing scared. I don't wanna get called out. I don't wanna be walking down the street during, like, South by or something and have Emrata on the street, like, push me over and, like, outside of the Air Maze store on South Congress. It's just
It
embarrassing.
It's October. This weekend when you're listening to this, we'll be wrapping up weekend 1 of A Scale.
Mhm. Are you gonna go?
And I'm going weekend 2.
Okay.
And that is always that's kind of my official unofficial delineating line. Once ACL is passed, once it's through, once weekend 2 is over, that's like it's officially time to like start switching out the closet. Like, despite I'm wearing some summery shirts for because I'm getting ready to put them away, so I'm kind of wearing them for the final time. And then after that weekend 2 of ACL, it's kind of like
Yeah.
the switch has been made. So the no shows, they can hit the back of the drawer at this point anyway, and we can just kind of remove it from our minds and go forward covering our ankles for at least the rest of the year, I think.
I did. I was very excited this morning. I took Rosie out for a quick walk to get our morning started, and I could tell there's a little coolness in the air. And so I thought, you know what?
The mornings have been lovely. Yeah.
I'm tossing on my cashmere hoodie right now, and I'm gonna rock this on this little walk.
Wow.
And I did not even think about breaking a sweat. It was the perfect layer that
Wow.
I needed, and I felt great about it. I mean, we're about to be absolutely cooking. The vibes on this podcast are shifting in such a positive way
Hmm.
that I just cannot wait to be like deep into layering season. It's gonna be
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. How early were you up that you weren't sweating in cashmere?
I made the mistake. So I've taken my alarm off of my phone as of late because my dog has been waking us up at 7 a.m. sharp.
Okay.
And this I knew I needed to get up early to do some stuff today. I had some work to get done early this morning, and my alarm went off promptly at 7:05 that I had set. I've been doing this thing where my alarm is the Great British Baking Show theme song because it's kind of a delightful way to wake up.
Sure.
It starts slow, it builds. I can usually get it snoozed by the time it's like loud, but if I don't, it'll definitely wake me up. I have another alarm that I set for like emergency situations that is just a bagpipe. And sometimes that's the default. And I accidentally set the default. And so when that alarm went off this morning, I shot out of bed faster than I could have ever shot out of bed.
Okay.
And it was an early rise. I don't like the 7 a.m., but I'm looking at having a second child soon. So it's going to be very, very
Yeah.
7 a.m. might sound great in a week's time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, I will probably be out for a couple weeks, starting very soon. So this is the last time you hear my voice for at least a couple weeks, but I don't think that means retail therapy is going away. More on that soon. But if you're looking around for the listener companion for this episode, I cannot guarantee that it's going to be there. But if you want to look at other listener companions or if you just want to subscribe just so you get them, go to the link to the Substack in the description of this episode. You can also click on the link down there to watch every episode of this on YouTube. And just definitely follow us on retail.pod on Instagram. We're having fun over there. Before we get into today's episode, though, let's hear from our friends over at Shopify. I don't like getting alerts very often. I just said I don't like getting the bagpipe alarm in the morning. But one alert that's delightful to get on your phone is that cha-ching sound whenever a sale goes through. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. You can be selling everything: succulents or stilettos, flaky salt or fine art prints. But whatever you're selling, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. They cover every sales channel from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, and it even lets you sell across social media marketplaces like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. They've got so many different tools that make it so easy for you to do pretty much anything. They've got templates up there that make your website look immediately professional and not have to worry about any design work if you don't want to. But they've got 24/7 help and an extensive business course library, and Shopify is there to support your success every step of the way. If you've bought anything from the Sunday Scary shop as of late, you know that it's come from a Shopify store. That's how much we stand behind it. Now it's your turn to get serious about selling and trying Shopify today. This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/scaries, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/scaries to take your business to the next level today. Again, that's shopify.com/scaries. This article came out over a week ago. I saw it, or it came out a few weeks ago actually, and it's been on my back burner for a little bit, just because I hadn't fully dove in yet. The article is titled "Why Girls Rule the Internet" by Maurice Solis for the New York Times, and this touches on a lot of things that we have actually discussed on this podcast: girl dinners, hot girl walks. We talk about many girl-driven thing on this program, and I don't shy away from that because I kind of like turning on my girl brain every once in a while.
Sure.
It's a fun thing to do. But this really started making me take a step back and just think about like how we're labeling things in life, how like much just calling something a girl dinner can catch on and make you realize like I don't even know what it makes you realize. I have a couple notes jotted down. Like, you don't watch Love Island, but
I do not. Yeah.
a very common phrase that was on this most recent season of Love Island, and season like the most recent couple seasons actually, was, "Oh, I'm a girl's girl. I'm a girl's girl," and like that was the way of endearing one contestant to another. And I understand it when I hear someone say that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I know what she's gonna do. She's gonna ride for all the girls." But we got the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, Beyonce Renaissance, Barbie movie. It's never been a better time to be a girl right now.
Yeah, just everything's for the girlies out there, right?
This entire like article, which I'm going to read a couple passages from this because I think setting the stage with her words makes more sense than me trying to explain what she's talking about. But like, I'm kind of jealous right now. Like I feel like the boys are like I feel like the boys have a negative connotation to us, and I think we kind of deserve it in some ways.
Well, what about fellas? Can I interest you in fellas?
You can interest me in fellas,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was going to be one of my questions.
Because I think I think the fellas, are a bunch of good guys.
That's true. This is true. Because like when you say the boys, like you immediately think of something else. So you're thinking of just like bopping around town, getting buckets of beers, stuff like that.
I don't know. That's okay too, though. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that this article kind of says to me, though, is that anybody can be a girl, right?
Correct. It says a girl could be, quote, anyone who doesn't fall into the gendered idea of the word, or she said even, quote, anyone on the internet. And I have to admit, there are several times when I'm on the internet and I'm like, you know what I'm doing right now is pretty girl. And
Yeah.
I think I lean into it more than anything. When I'm on Tumblr, just like getting like style tips from all the female Tumblrs that I have, I'm like, I'm getting pumped up.
Right. And I mean, one of the things, right, that it goes on to say is kind of anybody online, just like any online person, kind of a girl.
Yeah.
You're out there, you're putting your emotions out there, you're shopping, you're cooking, you're just everybody's a girl on the internet.
Typical girl stuff, or like stereotypical girl stuff, I'll say. It says, she also said, online, if your ears can pick up the frequency of the word girl, you might just be one. And as a girl, there's almost no behavior activity that can't claim as your own. Inspired by Megan Thee Stallion's song, Hot Girl Summer, you might go on a hot girl walk before seeing Barbie, a movie Four Girls, or Oppenheimer, also Four Girls, according to someone that they interviewed in this, whose name I will get wrong. And then they put together a girl dinner and assortment of snacks. They go on to say, one might assume girl identity as a way to show naysayers just how clever girls actually are, or to show men how unserious those things to which they ascribe so much importance may be. Claiming that something that is supposed to be for boys, say baseball, the Grateful Dead, or Karl Ove Knausgaard, an author who I have not read anything from because I'm not slutty enough to read that, is really for girls. Is like they say is like a pinprick into a balloon, slowly letting the air out of masculinity.
Yeah, just to come back to what I was saying, I was kind of paraphrasing this piece of the column, which says, in her book, Girl Online, Joanna Walsh argues that almost everyone becomes a girl when they log onto the internet, where users often share confessional writing and shuttle back and forth between cute and smart. They post memes and ironic observations one moment and level earnest critiques about politics or culture the next. What anyone really means when they post, whether they're joking or serious, is often held coyly in suspension. So, yeah, I do want to also bring up the very first comment, though, when you dive into the comments.
I made the big mistake of going to the comment section
because
on this one.
I did. I got about 2/3 of the way through this column and was kind of flabbergasted that somebody was allowed to write this many words about this subject.
As I kept scrolling, I was like, okay, we're going deep into this. Like that, like they got me with like the title and the sub headline, but like when I started going deeper and deeper, I was like, okay, we're in a full on like we're in a girl column right here.
So here's the first comment. So many words spilled over picayune elements of living, like having leftovers for dinner or taking a walk and then putting girl in front of it. I am eager for the TikTok in which a faucet is turned and social media discovers girl water.
Hey, if we start doing girl water, guess what? Your boy's gonna be making himself girl waters. Okay. Okay, we can all have a little bit more fun when we're taking our walks or eating our crappy dinners.
So
if putting the word girl in front of it is what we have to do to have fun, then I will be having fun.
I did start to get the feeling of like this. I don't know if this kind of like meme really applies, but I was kind of the same kind of feeling of like this meeting could have been an email type of thing.
Well,
okay, like I got it. And yeah, sometimes at points here, I think it's getting overly think PC for something that once again is not all that deep.
We're ruining the fun nature of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I started trying to think of like the adjacent male feeling here, and I defaulted to the boys.
Yeah.
And as I started going down this, I was just like, are we just like, do we need to lean more into being broy? Like, why do I feel ashamed about being like broy? I wasn't thinking about the fellas here. You know?
That's the fellas.
I always
is the
forget
answer.
the fellas. You know?
Yeah.
Like, was Barbie and Oppenheimer like exacerbated by this, like that, like whole like thing, or was that like a product of this? I haven't seen either movie.
Real
still.
chicken or egg situation.
It really is. It really is here, Barrett. I don't know, but then I started thinking to myself, why do we need to worry about our side of things? I'm having fun leaning into the girl side of things.
Well, sure.
I'm enjoying myself just fine.
And at the end of the day, the great thing about the Barbenheimer phenomenon was that while you'd stereotypically think that Barbie was for the girls and Oppenheimer was for the fellas, they were really both for both.
I haven't seen either, Barrett.
Well, I'm confirming that they are both for both.
I probably should have seen these cultural milestones of movies at least once. You saw Barbie twice, correct?
I saw Barbie twice. I saw Oppenheimer once.
That's a girl move.
Yeah,
that's a girl move.
I concur. Not and I'm proud of it.
I am.
Girls do rule the internet after all, and that's where I do a lot of living. Pretty
much all like I mean I'm fine with this. If they want to keep ruling, by all means, they can keep doing that. If the NFL is going to keep making Taylor Swift into their header photo and using her song lyrics for their thing,
this article probably came out before Taylor Swift took over the NFL.
It did.
Another example.
Do you think she's getting paid by the NFL? Like, obviously, everyone's making money from this.
Yeah, I did take. I texted one of my group texts on Sunday night saying pretty much that. I was like, "Are we sure that Taylor's not getting paid by the NFL? Because otherwise, this Sunday night game was going to feature the NFL's best quarterback against its very worst, and like they can't have that. They need something juicing this game." And there I was on Sunday Night Football. With nary a whisper from my better half about why we had to watch Sunday night football.
It's the first time in a long time when the Lions have not been playing, and I've made sure that I'm watching the pregame for Sunday Night Football just in case something pops off. Like, I had to know.
You had to know, and I was obviously like, I what I really wanted was like, on Monday Night Football now, there's the main broadcast, and then for a lot of the games they have Eli and Peyton. On the second broadcast, just shooting the shit, and it's great. I kind of wanted something similar for Sunday Night Football, but where it was just like one alternative broadcast that was just a camera on the suite and then documenting everybody with like the little Bachelor style chyrons that come up that just say who that is. If it's not somebody uber famous, they got to connect it, right? They got to say, oh, that's Taylor's publicist.
Yeah.
And then I just want to know what they're eating, what they're drinking. Like a little drink counter for Taylor. How many vodka crayons is she drinking?
I would love that number. Love that number.
And how many more did Sophie Turner drink than Taylor?
Did you see the Kelly Keegs tweet about how Taylor adopted her divorced best friend?
No, but Sophie Turner is absolutely living that life right now.
I hope she comes out victorious.
The very next day, she was just like shopping and having lunch with friends in New York. It was well documented on Jeff Jarrett and
the timing of all this could not be better for Sophie
what have
Turner.
you. And I was just super, super jealous of Sophie Turner, who all she had to do was get divorced from Joe Jonas, who probably sucks anyway.
Yeah.
And now she's just like hanging out with new bestie Taylor, just doing absolutely whatever she wants in New York City. Just really, I mean,
I like that Taylor's like, oh, you've had some negative headlines. You are coming with me to the Jets game, and you are going to enjoy. But I mean, you look at the NFL's like Twitter feed, and or like they have their header photo is 3 pictures of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Taylor Swift doesn't put out the vibe of a person who would be okay with like something as big as the NFL just using her face willy nilly.
Right.
So like, I just think that there has to be some sort of relationship there that exists.
And look, right, like Taylor would be arguably the biggest halftime at the Super Bowl performer get of all time.
Yeah.
Which is why they're not going to get her.
Yeah.
And they famously do not pay the performer for the halftime show. It's like a trade, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to get this massive exposure to 130 million people, blah, blah, blah. Like, and we get a nice big event at the halftime show. And so many performers have famously turned this down because they think they should get paid for it.
Yeah. They Patrick Cantley'd it.
Yes. Taylor is obviously very correct about that. But that doesn't mean they can't pay her for something else.
It's true. It's true. I mean, Usher's not moving the needle for me as much as I wanted to.
Right.
I
Right.
think there was a time in my life where it would have moved it a lot. But yeah, it's just, I would love to see a little Taylor in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But we've already, pretty much everyone that's going to be watching the Super Bowl has already seen her perform in a giant arena of some sort at some point. So like, maybe we just need to all just support the Eras tour.
Yeah. Taylor notably wearing studded denim shorts. I just had studded blank on the end list.
It's all paying off.
So that was a nice little feather in the cap there. Yeah, just what a run she's on.
It's beautiful to see.
You know,
it's beautiful.
She's having fun. I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care who's getting paid.
I'm officially joining you, Barrett, in No Coptober.
No Coptober.
Trying to No Coptober it.
Okay.
It's gonna be difficult, especially since I'm gonna have free time where I'm just like scrolling my phone.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough to just not buy something.
Apparently, this No Coptober, it was too good to be true. So somebody already has this No Coptober.
Of course they did.
Not that we can't use it, but
I'm already mentally dedicated to it, so I can't really move away. At this point.
Somebody informed me that there's another entity that does a little No Coptober thing. And when I came up with it, I was like, "Ooh, that's good."
That is good.
So it's not surprising that somebody else had already.
It is good.
Had already beaten me to it.
After the record convention I went to this past weekend, where I might have bought a few things, it was kind of a self-imposed.
So are you going no vinyl?
I'm going no vinyl and no clothing unless a jacket gets purchased. Maybe one single jacket. Yeah, it's a cold front. There might be a cold front. I might need to get one.
You never know.
I was critical though. I'm not going to get a Vetements shirt anytime soon because I was
Vetmon.
Sorry. I just whatever.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
I don't think I'm going to get that one right on this, so I'm just going to go with it. But Travis Kelce, I tweeted about this and I didn't get. I got a little blowback, not too much, about his shirt that he wore into the game the other day. The shirt itself was not my favorite shirt. Just because I think that it could be better. And then when I looked up how much it cost, $740.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I did not realize it was, how do you say?
Vetmon. Indeed.
Just says, I'm not doing shit today. Mission accomplished. And I don't want to be rude. But like this looks like something that could have gotten pitched for like Scary's merch. And I would have been like, no, that's a little too much. Like that's a little too like, like I could get this at a rest stop somewhere.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. Now as I've started to peel back the layers of Travis Kelce, I was one of the people in the world who didn't want Travis Kelce to date Taylor Swift. I had this bro-y douchebag view of him, and I was like, I don't want that to be it. Now that I've started peeling back the layers, I'm realizing that we're all a little Travis Kelce. We should be embracing him. But he's got a lot of people looking at him in the fashion world now.
Yeah, there's another piece of this outfit though that we need to talk about, and it's not the baggy pinstripe trousers, which I'm fine with, nor the green Jordans, which
he's hitting him with the zoot suit,
which are just dandy. It is the fact that somebody handed him this cap by a notable brand that we've mentioned on the podcast from time to time, Corridor, which says New York, New York on it. It's one of the caps that they've been making for quite some time. And it looks like he grabbed this from the children's section.
It's tiny on his head.
He's making the Miles Teller Grateful Dead cap look like it fits perfectly.
I'm devastated. The Miles Teller Grateful Dead cap did not make it on his packing list on his Italian vacation right now. And I'm really upset because I was really wanting to follow up on that tweet that I had.
Do you think wifey was finally like, Miles, babe?
Now he's just wearing his long drink hat.
I noticed that too, the long drink hat.
Like, come on.
Officially confirming that man, I almost posted on Instagram because the photo that I'm sure you're thinking about too where he's wearing the long drink hat. It's a bad fit.
It's
And he is guess what he's doing, guys and gals and everybody else and whoever. He's showing ankle, and he's got way
Idiot.
more than a sliver on his low cut sock. It's
idiot.
he would stand zero chance with Emily Ratajkowski.
You know,
Zero.
I don't think Kelsey's shown any ankle because I think he's got some people in his corner that are fighting for him.
But this hat on Kelce, here's another photo. It's too small, my guy. And with the mustache on top of that, like he's looking like Humpty Dumpty or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I was too distracted by I like that they blurred out the shirt. Not everyone's ready for the word shit on their timelines.
It's correct. It's
Well,
very offensive to some.
I follow several Substacks, and one of my favorite ones is Amy Odell. She does back row. And she put out something, I guess it was just yesterday, called Travis Kelce Fashion Influencer, where she goes through all this. And like, I mean, I hate to say it, he does have some drippy outfits, but it's also like, it's not for me. She describes him as loud luxury, which I think is probably a good way of putting it.
Very accurate.
And I think if you're a player in the NFL, I don't think going the loud luxury route is like the worst idea for you.
No,
especially when you have it like that.
I would say it's pretty common.
Yeah.
In the NFL. Travis Kelce definitely made a few back when I was curating the Club Cool Pod Instagram. He definitely he had a few looks there that got a post. You're absolutely right though with the loud luxury moniker. I think that describes his style perfectly. He wears a lot of designer, a lot of logos, and just a lot of really loud stuff too.
Are people going to start like copying Travis Kelce? Like our NFL fans who traditionally just don't care about like style in general, are they going to start like looking at him because he's so in the spotlight right now?
I mean, it's hard to say.
The Vetements shirt is currently sold out in pretty much everywhere that I looked.
Yeah. What I'll say is that I think he does the loud luxury thing a lot better than a lot of people. There's a lot of
I don't want to agree, but I very much do.
A lot of white baseball players go really heavy into some of this loud luxury design stuff, like Rude and Amiri and whatever else, but they're like pairing it with like torn up Balmain biker jeans from 2014, and they typically do it real bad. The baseball guys.
I feel like baseball guys are less likely to spend money on a stylist than like football guys are.
Travis Kelce definitely has a more styled approach to it.
Uh-huh.
Better pants, better fit on most things. Corridor hat notwithstanding.
Based on what we know about Travis Kelce, do you think he's got like a celebrity like person, or like do you think he's got a stylist that like goes out and searches for this stuff for him? Do you think he has any like influence on what he's wearing?
I think that he definitely has a stylist, but I think he is also probably very particular and knows what he likes.
He wears enough like very luxurious stuff that he can't just be oblivious to it. He has to be able to like, he's probably doing what I want to do. Just go on my Discover feed and shoot links over to my stylist's like inbox and be like, hey, this, thank you.
And I think his stylist probably at this point just knows that like, if they see like a, highlighter yellow, tiger print, long top coat, they got to get that for their guy.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see, at the end of this article about Travis Kelce on back row, they have the photo of Kendall. Rocking his Loro Piana hat, which I just absolutely love to see that. You love to see the translation in real life.
Thank you for bringing this up because I did want to mention this when we were talking about the Jets game and Taylor Swift. Gotta love that Jeremy Strong showed up to the game as well and is committed to the bit. Rocking the Loro Piano.
It's good. Like, because he knows what he's doing, right?
Yes.
We have a listener, and they recently saw him at a gallery, and they sniped a photo of him from the gallery, and they sent it to me, and it is everything you could have ever dreamt of when it comes to just running into him at an art gallery in New York City. Like, he looks like Kendall Roy doing a bit. And I want to move to New York City, not only just for the fall vibes that we talk about all the time, but I also would like to move there just so I can maybe run into him at a gallery opening at some point in my life.
Do you think that I think this is probably an older photo. This is probably a few years old. I'm back to Kelce.
Yeah, this is tough. This isn't as natural.
He can't be dressing like this on dates with Taylor at this point, right? Like, this is a little too loud.
Correct. That's a long sleeve Hawaiian shirts have a time and a place. And I don't know if that time and a place is at Taylor's place.
Right. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see however long this relationship, whatever it might be, whatever it might entail. If his style kind of gets shifted, if his vibe shifts in one way or another.
I mean, Taylor's had a type historically. I mean, she likes dudes that don't really dress like this, from what I can tell.
That's correct.
And I don't know. It's been such a learning process for me about the Kelsey clan. I've never known much about them because I don't really take in that much NFL football these days. Go Lions though, and I don't know. It's been interesting, and I think I'm into this Kelsey stuff at this point. I don't think I want to cover it as much as like the media is covering everything in every aspect. I think we're kind of weaning off of my general interest in these two. But as long as she keeps showing up at games, I'll still be paying attention.
Did you know that Travis Kelce had like a whole reality show
No.
dedicated to his dating life?
I heard this recently, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna choose to not see that because
It's all
I feel like
making it's all making sense now.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
just don't
yeah.
know if I want to see that. I do think, and I hate that I even did this in the first place, but this shows how much of a distaste I had for Travis Kelce for no reason. Was when he hosted SNL. I mean, you're one of the only people I know who still watches
Mhm,
SNL, along
mhm.
with my wife Sally and I. I skipped his episode altogether because I was like, oh no, I don't really care. And now I get to go back and watch that, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But like, I feel like such a jerk now.
He was pretty good
I'm
too,
just judging
you
books
know?
by their covers because I don't dress like him. I feel really bad about that. I would wear that cardigan.
I don't hate this.
I would vibe out on my couch on that on a nice little relaxing Sunday.
Some might say that this is loud, but luxurious.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. I think it can be both loud and luxurious. Yep. All right. I got some big news. You guys familiar with Green Chef? They're now owned by HelloFresh. And with a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everyone. I love switching between the brands, and now our listeners can do the same and enjoy both brands at a discount with me. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Barrett, do you know what CCOF stands for?
I don't. Please don't.
California Certified Organic Farmers. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle. So whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet, Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preferences. You know me. I've been on my pescatarian grind, and guess what? Got a box recently? All pescatarian stuff.
Wow.
A beautiful thing. You can enjoy your greens while being green. Green Chef is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of their plastic packaging in every box and 100% of their carbon footprint and emissions. With fresh produce, premium proteins, and organic ingredients you can trust, Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. Green Chef offers 35 nutritious and flavorful options to choose from every week, including premium clean ingredients that are seasonally sourced for peak freshness. If you go take a little gander on their site right now, you can see a lot of gas on there right now. Spicy shrimp udon noodle soup. We got creamy chimichurri pork bowls, Baja chicken bowls with cauliflower rice. I mean, we're eating good over here. They even have maple pecan microwave mug cakes. Sign me up. Right now, you too can enjoy what we've been enjoying. Head over to greenchef.com/scaries130 and use code scaries130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. That's a really good deal. Again, that is greenchef.com/scaries130 and use code scaries130 to get $130 off plus free shipping. The #1 meal kit for eating well. It's Green Chef, baby. All right, Barrett, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you freak with this? Talking about Rihanna's Blokecore collection that she's dropped.
Okay.
Anytime Blokecore comes up, I'm actually wearing a soccer jersey today in honor of our Blokecore topic right now. We've got Bad Gal Riri, Rihanna. She has a new Savage League collection that I had higher hopes for, if I have to be honest. When I finally got to the page where you could buy it all, I was just like, oh, I wanted more.
Yeah.
It's not the worst, but I wanted more.
I also feel like the term blokecore is potentially being abused for clicks and social media hype here. I would just describe this as like blokecore was very specific, right? With the kind of the old jeans and the more vintage jerseys.
I feel like, especially in the way that we talked about it, like I almost feel like it wasn't as like, hey, I'm trying to literally like just cosplay as a soccer player.
Yeah, like so this has some retro, soccer gear flair, I guess, but it doesn't really stand out to me as blokecore. It's just more like athleisure with a soccer tilt, with a little bit of footy, little touch of footy.
I don't.
Some of the tracksuits, very kind of reverential to like old Kappa or Diodora stuff.
I have to say that
And it's fine.
we could wear this to an Austin FC game and get away with it.
That's a great point.
Like,
This
that
is
might be the
Austin
best
FC
thing about
colors.
this.
Yeah, yeah. But so Savage, Fenty, from what I know about it, from what I've investigated and when I've kind of like tapped around the website a little bit, it's definitely at a more approachable price point.
I was shocked by the price point of this. Like, for example, the jogger's $30,
Yeah.
the jacket is $33. All this, that's what surprised me the most, is that like it was not just an approachable price, like a damn good price for this kind of thing.
So yeah, I mean, this is kind of pitched out from the from who is this? Nylon? Yeah, Nylon was pitching it out as loungewear. But when I'm down here on the stuff for the boys, I'm like, I like these shorts. I can see myself wearing these in the gym.
Oh, we got Randy weighing in.
I'm familiar with this brand, and it might be very much like Fabletics. I'm seeing that you can see the color says new extra VIP offer. I'm pretty sure those are the prices if you are a VIP
Yes,
member.
that is correct. That is
Okay.
You were correct.
Good work there, Randy. Thank you for being on the ground with that. Just boots everywhere.
But yeah, she's doing her thing. I think this is super popular stuff. And look, you can't go wrong mixing in some footy, some soccer looks to your stuff right now. That's facts.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so what I'm wearing right now, I'm just close my laptop. Like, I'm wearing this Marlboro Light jersey from Mike Gracie. And he's started making these jerseys, kind of doing one-offs of them and posting on Instagram every once in a while. I had a lot of people reach out when I tweeted this jersey out the other day. Go follow at Mike Gracie on Instagram if you want to be a part of his drops. He does them periodically, drops a password, all the stuff's awesome. You've probably seen me wearing numerous things, but like the buzz that this jersey got, and this is one of the samples that he made. The buzz that jersey got just across everything was crazy to see. It got picked up by, I think, Hidden Streetwear Night Live had it on there, like 10 items of the month kind of thing. I mean, it's just everywhere. And I feel like people are just more into soccer stuff than they've ever been. We did the washed training top that was footy inspired. And like, I was shocked by how many we sold, just because I didn't think that many people cared about soccer that much. But maybe they don't. Maybe they just like the idea of having these kind of like curated, tailored sponsors on these fake jerseys that are just kind of more fun than anything.
Yeah.
I'm about it. I mean, obviously I'm about it. I love it. I did make the comment. I don't know if I made it today or on this episode or not. That it's just brutal that we have the Tuesday afternoon recording slot during Champions League. It was just a big miss for me.
Yeah.
You might get me starting to ask you like, hey, you guys cool? We record on Friday this week. I don't know if they lose today though. It might be a different story.
I had no idea what the team they were playing was today, so I feel relatively good about your chances there.
That's okay. I mean, no, if I've learned anything about this team, Barrett, this Manchester United team, you should never feel good about really any of their chances. It's been an ugly season, and it's been tough. So we will endure. Do you have any Blokecore in the rotation currently?
I really don't. I mean, honestly, about as blokey as I get is with these Adidas Gazelles, which I happen to be wearing today. One of the older pairs of sneakers in my wardrobe. I know every time I stop wearing these, I know to just like put them in the back of the closet and not try to get rid of them or anything. Cause it's just one of those things that kind of like always comes back around.
We've had a lot of people ask us about Sambas. And like whether or not they're over, like am I a loser if I buy them? Am I going to look chuggy if I'm rolling around in Sambas? And like I don't know if this is like the fashion driven podcast angle that you should say like, oh yeah, no, they're out. But like Sambas have always been somewhat in the circles that I run in, that I just don't see them being out, or I don't look at them that way. So it's like it's a weird feeling for me. I would love to get a pair.
Buying any pair of like just normally colored Sambas or Gazelles or whatever, yeah, it's not a bad idea, no matter where we are in the trend cycle, essentially. And it's one of those things like that when we're talking about a shoe as kind of simple and as versatile as that, or a Birkenstock Boston, it's like that's not a micro trend, that's a macro trend that lives for years at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, like every girly in Soho might have a pair right now, but like that doesn't really mean anything unless you are attempting to be on the very most cutting edge of fashion, in which case sure, maybe you've missed the peak.
Like,
But yeah, that's yeah, I would compare them to like a Birkenstock Boston right now, which is obviously has already kind of like probably reached its pinnacle of being in the fashion zeitgeist, but isn't going away anytime soon.
no, no.
So
I look down at Sally's. We just have an area that we toss our shoes in our place, like everyone does. And every time I look down and see her white vegan Sambas, I'm like, oh man, she's
yeah.
got a better shoe collection than I do at this point. Like the time that I saw the ALD package come to our door, and I was like, wait, did I order something that I like forgot about? And then it was just the New Balances. I was like, of course she got these. Like,
Yeah.
I really wanted to get these, and I was gun shy, and she had the guts to actually go through with it. Oh well. I think Blokecore is going to live on, and I'm going to be on the lookout for like every jersey now. And we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but like the amount of good-looking designer jerseys out there that have nothing to do with an actual soccer team is through the roof.
Yeah, they're really.
I'm so
yeah,
happy with
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
I bought something this past week, Barrett, and it came in the mail at a very opportune time. Last week we talked about Grazia and the Instagrammy olive oil company, and I mentioned that I had purchased a pizza oil from a rival company, Brightland. Have you seen this? Had you seen this before I talked about it?
The what the pizza oil?
Yeah.
Well, when we talked about the battle of the olive oils.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A couple
That's
months
okay.
ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I also do see this type of thing. Grazia specifically exists at Central Market for me, so I see that one on the shelf. Brightland not currently carried, so I can't do a rival's taste test.
It's true. It's true. Well, I purchased this and it arrived in the mail the other day. I got another. I tried to add on something so I could get free shipping, but I think it didn't actually work. So now I just have some white vinegar as well as the pizza oil. But I'm excited to use both. If you're not a white vinegar person when making a homemade salad dressing, I highly recommend you just go check that out. Works well in a low bowl as well. Well, all you do with this pizza oil is literally just squirt it on top of the pizza. You just start going to town with it. It says that it's made from California-grown Arbocana, and Mission olives, cold pressed with raw jalapenos, garlic, oregano, and basil. Their pizza oil is custom blended for drizzling on deep dish, dunking thin crust, or dressing up delivery pizza. We made the TikTok famous Trader Joe's pizza. So it was kind of an untraditional pie.
Tell me about that. I was getting badgered at home for to make this after your.
So they have like
there.
a pizza crust that I have to say, when Sally brought home the pizza crust, I looked at it and I thought, I don't want this pizza. This is not going to be good pizza. And so you take it and then you take some spreads that they have. I think there was like a garlic spread as well as some type of tomato spread, and you spread it all on there. You decorate it with whatever you want. You put some cheese on there. And we actually ended up air frying it because we had a spill in our oven and we hadn't cleaned it yet. So we air fried it and it worked great. I think the oven would have worked just as great as well. So it was kind of an experiment in and of itself. And then I had one slice and I thought, this is pretty damn good. I looked over at my friend Micah and I said, should we try the pizza oil on this next slice? And he nodded. I drizzled it on there, and I have to say, this legitimately did change the entire flavor profile of the pizza. Like, I'm not saying I want it with every single thing, but to have this ready to deploy at any point with a shitty pizza at my place, it's a good thing to have in the pantry, and I'm going to give it the retail therapy seal of approval.
Well, I've got bad news for me, myself, all of our listeners out there. You can't even get this stuff.
You got to join the wait list, people. You got to join the wait list. Maybe is this because I posted it the other day? Maybe it's because I posted it.
This is a drop. This is another drop that we have to pay attention to.
Oh yeah.
They're dropping the pizza oils now.
Bro, you get that pizza oil today? How long until ALD?
I'm sick of it.
I want ALD to start, like, thank you, Randy, to start dropping, like, if they start doing like coffee adjacent stuff outside of just their like Cafe Leon door merch, then it's going to be a problem. You and I are going to be in there cooking. Did
you get a restock notification on the Brightland, and that's why you snapped it up?
No, I didn't get the restock notification. I got that. I was lucky. I just signed on and bought it, but now I'm going to have to get that restock notification because this is dire.
Wow. Okay. Well, guess what, Brightland? I'm going to go buy the Grazia now, and you know what? Because theirs is available.
I think we need to do a blind taste test. I've been gravitating Brightland, but if in the olive oil war, I can be bought. Like, I can be convinced otherwise. If my palate is not that refined, and so I'm not going to be too picky here. If I try another one, I think it's better.
So were all of the ingredients for this pizza from Trader Joe's?
Yes. 100% of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but the TikToker has put together this ingredient list
Yeah.
because it's a pizza crust and then you got to buy everything else
Yep.
separately.
Yep. And I truly had very low hopes for this because I don't I even though I maybe should have more faith in Trader Joe's, I always don't have that much faith in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Especially like I have good faith in the snacks, but when it comes to actually making like a full meal out of only Trader Joe's stuff, I start to get a little worried. It tasted great, and Sally did most of the heavy lifting there, and she said it was incredibly easy to do. So
Okay.
if you're at home this weekend and you need something easy, head over to Trader Joe's. Try it out. I enjoyed it. I can't speak to how it was the next day as I did not eat it, but I think that you might have to air fry it again or something. It's just not gonna stay like another pizza does.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's time for wish list, baby. I have a lot of items this week as I will be out and no Coptober is just really killing me inside. So I'm putting 3 different items on today's wish list. Do you want to kick things off?
Sure, I'll kick things off. I mentioned studs earlier as with regard to Taylor's outfit at the Jets Chiefs game there at MetLife Stadium this past week. I put studs on studded blank, fill in the blank on my in list for Q4 here. And so I've been doing a little shopping, and there's a list of brands, right, that I would describe as brands that I in another life, in another world, with more money, I would just dedicate myself to one brand and just wear nothing but that brand. One of the things on your wish list is from one of these brands, actually.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
The brand I'm talking about is Double RL, and I do own several pieces from Ralph Lauren's little town and country diffusion line there. But recently I was shopping the new stuff and I came across this insane distressed leather
You
studded
need
belt,
this.
which also comes with a big ass belt buckle that also has studs on it. And right dead center is a Longhorn.
Barrett, if you don't get this, if they go to the Natty and we're on our way back from your bachelor party and going straight into Houston to watch that game, you got to have this belt on you.
But I don't know. Again, like the issue with a lot of the Double RL stuff is that sometimes it can look costumey, especially if you start, kind of piecing it all together.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got like a serape striped jacket or a big like Southwestern print overshirt, and then you're doing jeans, and then you're doing the boots, and then you tuck the shirt in, you got this bad boy. It's like I'm looking like Lloyd and Harry in Aspen and Dumb and Dumber.
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
compliment. They were looking great.
But this is I'm just like after No Spend September and now here we are in No Coptober. I'm really just letting it fly on the wish list, just putting real absurd stuff, and it's probably a defense mechanism. If I really put the stuff that I truly was like I'm so if I put something that I'm really is too tempting on here, then I'm getting into dangerous.
Dude, I found
waters.
that if I put something on the wish list, I have found that I'm much more likely to go buy it because it's top of mind for me and I don't forget about it because I will go back the next week.
Not to mention you blast the link out to 1 million people.
Yeah, and like now that I've been doing this, like because I copy and paste the list over from last week to the next week, I see it every week, and I'm like, ooh, I forgot about this. And I find myself buying the things, but I've got some items on today's list that I don't think I'm going to be buying anytime soon. If you see me chucking up really expensive items on my wish list in the next couple months, it's because Christmas is coming, and I'm just going to send this to Sally. The first item I'm adding today of my 3 is a pair of boots I saw on Mr. Porter is it just DM?
DM is how I've always said this.
It's a Chelsea boot?
I could be wrong.
We have famously found that we can be very wrong. It's a Chelsea boot that has a lot more utility than I probably need, but there's something about the material on the top that I just kind of like.
Yeah.
It's like a marled, like, I don't even know, but I'm into it. And I don't have any Chelsea boots. I think a lot of Chelsea boots that I have kind of make me feel like they might make my foot look too narrow.
Right. You don't have any chonkers yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have Blundstones?
I do have Blundstones.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do have Blundstones. The Blundstones are phenomenal, and these would essentially be filling this same vacancy that the Blundstones are filling. But there's just something about the uppers on these that I'm just into.
Yeah.
I want these to be my return home to Michigan for the winter boots.
Yeah, what is that, a little calf hair, a little nappy suede?
I don't know. What does it say?
Suede. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little
And that's why the rubber goes so far up on those boots.
textured suede there.
Yep. It's
The
just
thing about these is they're handcrafted in the brand's Venetian workshop, though,
that's the only place I shop.
and
Yeah.
the techniques that they're using are time honored.
Yep. Yeah. I do.
And
Can you imagine buying a pair of boots with
that were made without time honored
with techniques that are just not honored by time?
No, I
No,
cannot.
I'm not doing that. The second thing I have on this list is a replacement because I think I left my last online ceramics shirt in a hotel room. I don't know how I could have possibly done that. But now I have this shirt that I want that's really stupid, and it just says "Watch a live stream," and it's got a toad or a frog sitting
I
on
like
top
it.
of a shroom,
Don't forget the butterfly sitting
and
on
the
top of the
butterfly.
frog's head.
and then on
Yeah.
the back of the shirt, there's just a very generic photo of a river, and it has a Grateful Dead lyric under it that you wouldn't know is a Grateful Dead lyric,
Right.
and like it just seems like a shirt that I could use.
Yeah.
And I like the tan color. I'm going all in on my earth tones this year. And it's not sitting well with me that I only got to wear my other online ceramics shirt exactly one time.
Are
and
you a hundo P that you lost this thing?
I wasn't 100% until I cleaned out my closet, and it was nowhere to be found. The
Man.
only thing that I can do now is I need to go through all of my suitcases and make sure that it's not like rolled up in one of them, or if it's not in like some side pocket, or it could be in a stack of Sally's t-shirts that I have not personally gone through yet. But I've been assured it's nowhere to be found.
Mhm.
The final thing I have on here is the one that I really, truly, absolutely want the most.
Yeah.
I have been wanting a nice pair of slippers for my entire life, pretty much. I want the most swag slippers you can possibly have. I want Kendall Roy to walk into my house and say, "Holy shit, where'd you get those slippers?" And I think these Stofa slippers
Yep.
are the ones.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
$600.
Yeah. This I already had this. This was a tab that existed in my 100 open tabs. These exact slippers. They're basically the Bodie house shoe, but in suede instead of leather.
They're beautiful.
And that makes them a lot more wearable to me. I always find like kind of neutral toned suedes more wearable than like a black leather for me.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm pretty sure that these do have it's a latex sole. So like sure, they certainly work as house shoes if that's what you want them to be. But like that you can rock these out of the house as well.
It's killing me.
But yeah. Now that it's interesting to listen to you talk about Chelsea boots and feeling too narrow in them, which I do understand. But then you don't feel that way with like, and I think it's because you have practice with like Sabas, basically.
Yeah, I think Sabas ushered me into having like a small looking shoe on my foot, and I also think Vans.
Yeah,
I've worn a pair of basic white Vans for so long that looking down at a small, daintier looking pair of shoes on my feet doesn't feel foreign to me anymore. And so it's a little, but like Chelsea boots almost make me feel like my foot is elongated and narrowed.
Yeah.
That I'm like almost playing a character like Willy Wonka or something.
But yeah, Stuffa is the brand that is another one of these brands where it's like, if I had the money, I might just stop shopping and like call up Stuffa and be like, just send me one of everything.
Yeah, just hit me up.
This was on our little New York trip. This was near the bottom of my list because I did not want the temptation. But this is like early Bodie experience where the only way you can shop in store is to make an appointment. When they do their little collections, which drop several times over the course of a year, it's all like made to order. And it's and it's all just absolutely gorgeous.
It's
gorgeous
beautiful
stuff.
The colors on it, I love it all.
Clayton Chambers, when he was doing some Club Cool stuff with me, he introduced me to this brand, and they have definitely like gained in popularity since. Some of their stuff is carried at Mr. Porter now, I think, and I think that they will be on a maybe not a Bodie-esque rise, you know, because that's such a kind of lightning in a bottle once in a decade, in an every other decade type thing. But this brand's still on the rise. It's on the rise.
Do you ever have the experience where you see something you want and you like are really into it, and then you see immediately after you like bookmark it or have a tab open, maybe a couple days later on Instagram, you see someone with it and you're like, oh, this just made me want it even more. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day and I don't know what it would be like if you got every like menswear podcast in like a room together. I don't know if it would be like everyone gassing each other up or if it would be like an Anchorman scenario where everyone just starts fighting with each other. But Larry from Throwing Fits has a pair of these in the exact color that I wanted, and he put them on his Instagram story, and I was just like, oh my God, those look good.
Oh,
they look so good.
I did not know that.
Yep, he got the response from me that I don't give to many things on Instagram, which is just the emoji blowing out some smoke, just going.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he got that from me, and it's just a really good looking pair of just loafer slippers, whatever you want to call them.
yeah. See, for me, that knocks him down my list though, because I feel like I've been beaten to the punch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like when I see it look good on somebody else, I'm like, oh, that could look good on me too. I want to make this happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I do get a little jealous sometimes when I'm just there's a part of me, there's always going to be a part of me. And I think there's this in everybody where like sometimes you see someone just getting a really good fit off and you're like, I want to get that fit off. I'm not happy for them.
I feel that. I feel that. There's definitely but it's specifically the competitive nature of being in the exact same industry, talking about very similar things.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's a little bit of this is kind of like we want to break stuff. We want to be talking about brands before other people are talking about brands. We want to have a little bit of the leg up on them. So
it's called clout, and we want it.
So, and then it's like even if it's on their radar or even if they're talking about it as well, it's like, yeah, but do you have it yet? We're now a little bit of this too. We're at a competitive disadvantage since Larry knows literally everybody in every brand in New York and gets a lot of this sent to him to guess up.
Anytime you can see a podcaster just gracing a fall campaign for ALD, like you're just like, yeah, that's good. Good for them. There's hope in the world. There's hope in the world. Why'd you holster it, Randy? You were so ready. Just a little guy. I needed to get one last ding in before I went out on paternity leave. Shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, man. Last thing I'll throw out there. I just, sometimes you talk about the fits that you can't stop thinking about. I just wanted to put this one out there real quick. It's just Timmy in the full chocolate brown leather Tom Ford get up. Y'all know I've been talking about leather blazers, and I don't think brown is for me because I don't think it's as versatile. Because I don't own also a brown silk shirt and perfectly tailored brown wool trousers, as well as brown leather Tom Ford boots.
Yeah, how do we feel about these pants? They're not voluminous by any means.
They are not voluminous. Now, this is a great example of like things still work when they are very intentional for the outfit.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this photo up. I saw this photo and was just like, you've got to be kidding me. He looks great in this.
He looks amazing. Yeah.
What's the material on these pants?
Wool. That's a wool.
Okay.
That's a wool.
Okay.
Maybe you got some silk in there.
There's some harsh lighting on this that's thrown me for a loop today.
There's some hefty wool fibers in those there cuffed.
How much do you think those boots cost?
The boots, if they are real exotic skin coming from Tom Ford, 3,000, 3,500.
I like the cuff on those pants.
Yeah,
that's
nice looking cuff.
You have to have those tailored through the roof if you're going to have a cuff like that.
Oh, you better believe it.
Wearing Chelsea boots with that seems aggressive. Not seems aggressive, but like that could easily those pant legs could easily get hung up on those boots pretty easily, and you could just be looking a mess.
But
yes, Timmy doesn't play like that.
He doesn't. I don't think that happens to a guy like him.
No.
I will say a skinny fit like this on a skinny guy. It does still confuse me with the whole Kylie thing, right? Because she's got. Am I in the clear to say that Kylie is slim thick?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that yeah? Right.
I mean,
She's got curves.
I would say that there is a world where she would be considered my type, physically speaking. I don't shy away from that.
Yeah. So when he's just kind of accentuating his gumbiness.
Yeah.
His inherent gumbiness.
the gumbiness is a good way of portraying this.
I'm just like, man, I don't totally see this. Like,
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
They put out the vibe of the couple in high school where she put her arm around him walking down the hall and not the other way around.
Yes.
That's okay, though. That's okay. Yeah. I might have been that guy at one point. Who knows?
Like Tom Holland and Zendaya make more sense to me than Timmy and Kylie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's just a height difference, though,
Yeah. So, all right. We'll see Timmy in his Tom Ford leather blazer soon. Bye-bye, Timmy.
Barrett, I'm sure you and I will be in close touch, but to all the listeners out there, I will talk to you guys in a couple weeks. It's been a fun one. If anyone wants to shoot anything our way, you know where to find us. We will talk to you guys soon.